There are alternate views on the idea of a fiscal deficit, or whether that is really the biggest problem we have. A lot of people argue that if we can sustain growth in spite of that fiscal deficit, we will always have the solution to fix that also. But the fact of the matter remains that there is something called inequality of distribution of wealth. Inequality in the distribution of wealth. That makes a large population of people below the capacity to earn for themselves in the levels that you would say bare minimums or good enough. This abnormality creates another abnormality, which is that to sustain them, you get into the SOP scenario, or you offer them basically cash transfers or any other kind of aid. That is a drain on the treasury in a different way. That imbalance needs to be balanced out with some other methodologies to make sure that the treasury has enough funds coming in. So if you understand that one inequality leads to another, and the spiral goes out of control. I was just reading today, very interestingly, in The Economist, that it said that the US subprime crisis was a result actually of a similar inequality. So when the state finds that a lot of people are unable to access the bare minimum quality of life, then they encourage them to mortgage and borrow and fund those lifestyles. And that led to a different sort of a bubble. And that bubble, when it burst, caused the kind of a situation that we have globally now. So if you roll it back just 2 steps, you will realize that every time you try and solve a problem of the sort by the mechanism of the sort that you were talking about, you create another problem. Intelligence would demand that you are able to sustain both sides. Intelligence would demand that you need to manage both sides. A ballooning fiscal deficit, irrespective of the arguments of philosophical positions of economists elsewhere in the world, is always going to bring with it a set of problems. It is a supposition that if you have growth, we can sustain this problem for a longer time. All you are saying is we can live with the disease a little longer and hope for a cure. But the problem with that paradigm is, suppose there is no cure, or suppose the problems become so big that the cure that you had envisaged is not good enough. So, when you live like that, or when you work your economy, your economics like that, then you're always going to be in stress. And that is where we are. We have the examples of the West before us, and we are absolutely following the same route to disaster. This is where my point of disagreement is. The fundamentals of the economy are roughly the same elsewhere in the world. The models are pretty open. Causation is pretty clear. What causes what is also clear. And yet you follow that without a single mechanism. And I say to you, thank God for the RBI governor's insistence on maintaining and not moving or not budging on the interest rate issue, because that would be the last straw. So the moment you open those floodgates, and a completely new scenario will emerge. And so you see, a lot of people who are talking about business being bad, scenario being bad, or the economic conditions being stressful, are actually lobbyists in the guise of interested parties like businessmen or corporate honchos. You have to counter this. You have to understand that people who live through business will always want laws skewed in their favor. It takes politics, governance, and good leadership to decide what is fair and what is right.